So today we're going to take a look at one of the biggest game changers in music production that can bring the impact of your music from here. Okay, so no impacts or risers. It builds, or does it? It's just so disappointing. To here. Here goes rise. Nice, that's so much better, right? I feel like I'm already jamming along to it. Of course, it's not mixed or anything, it's not perfect, but it's way better already. This game changer, of course, is impacts and risers. Without them, your music will struggle to reach the same level of emotion. So in this video, I'm going to run through different ways we can make our own risers and impacts without having to buy the expensive samples. And I'm also going to demonstrate how important impacts and risers are. I stream over on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7 PM. So if you have any more questions, that's the place to go. Links down below. All right, let's get into it. Here are some things I wish I knew when I started making music. And we're back with the short hair. Hopefully it's not offensive. Woo! All right. And hopefully I wake no one up. It's 3 minutes past 1, but we have a colorful project, so hopefully that'll keep us going. Keep my eyes open. I should have brought some coffee, but I have water. Please do stay hydrated. Refreshing. So this is a beat I made for the 4 Producers 1 Sample Challenge, and I've just gotten rid of the samples, the chopped vocals, and I've colored everything. So everything here in orange are the impacts and risers. And I'm going to talk you through how you can make them yourself. Sweet. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Cool, so let's mute them. These guys are going to over here, goodbye. So let's make an instrument track, and we're going to start off with my favorite type of riser. If you're in Logic Pro X, you can do this. This is my white noise riser. So what we do is I go into retro synth, stereo. Doesn't actually really matter, to be honest. I bring shape 1 down here to the lower option here, and we're changing the oscillator just to shape 1 here, just oscillator 1. I'm going to get rid of this, and that should do the job. Now be careful, this is always so loud. And we're going to record in a note, any note, maybe in the key, but to be honest there's no real notes coming from the white noise, but I play it in the key, the root note of the key, just to be safe. So G in this case, press over to record. Sounds amazing, great. So you can just drag that across there. So I'm going to have let's have a 2-bar riser. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this across so we can use this wherever we want. So let's drag it to the beginning, okay? It's basically just white noise playing for the 2 bars. Yeah, no one wants to listen to that, right? So what do? We can just EQ out some low. So just always careful about low end, just 100. Keep it nice and tidy. And then we get an auto filter. So let's go to filter, auto filter, stereo. That's grand. We can close that. Then we press A to get the automation up. Click into this button here, auto filter, go to cut off, and then we click on the automation. And we can make points. And if we drag this down, maybe make it increase over time, have something like this. Let's have a listen to that. We'll listen to white noise on its own. So we don't hear anything yet. And then you just heard it rise at the end. And we can make that more dramatic just so you can really hear the impact. Let's turn that up to 74. Cool. Let's put a riser halfway through. I'm going to build it up just gradually. Keep a little bit of energy, but it's really low, so you can barely hear it. Just a little bit of a riser, and then it drops. And then we can do the same here. Glorious. And then I'm going to have him there, and I'm going to copy that white noise across. Copy, and then we'll have the automation. So we can see the riser will build and then drop. Rise, build, and drop. Just little risers, okay, with our automation using the cutoff. All right, there's white noise. Another thing we can use as impacts, a crash cymbal. So if we get the drummer up, right, and then if I find a crash, let's see, where's our crash? Beautiful. And all of a sudden you have a crash, an impact on the down. Let's actually have a listen now with that white noise riser and with that crash. Gonna turn it down a little bit. It's a little bit better already. That crash for an impact and the white noise for a riser. Now, why not layer it a few more times? That's kind of a trick as well. The more layers of something you put in, if you blend them in together, it's going to be beautiful. So more, the better in general. If we press Control B, we bounce it out, crash rev or reverse, and unmute that. Control M. So then let's go to the reverse thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to click in. We see here, File, Functions, Verse. Before you know it, another riser from our crash. I'm just going to command and fade it in and out. So I have a shortcut here at the top that's just allowing me to hold down command and then click across. So let's have a listen to this crash reverse. Sweet. And you've gotten yourself another riser. Listen to them together. Already getting better. Nice, that's 2 risers and 1 impact. Let's get another impact. Something that's kind of fun to do sometimes is to find a kick, get a kick out on its own. Let's actually do this, I'll show you. So let's make another drum track. We're gonna open that up, piano roll. Okay, here's a kick, let's just record a kick in. There's our kick, lovely. Now what I'm gonna do is, just so everything is nice and tidy, move this kick to the downbeat, glorious. Now I'm gonna throw a lot of reverb on the track. Let's use reverb, Space Designer. Lovely, let's just make it huge. Let's have a listen to this kick on its own, or reverse kick I should say. Wow, that's mad. It's another option. Let me try and get that better. That's what I was looking for. Okay, I've changed quickly to our little plate just because it's doing what I wanted to do. But I can also cut that it's not doing any of the lows and the mix is fully wet, so there's going to be no dry signal. Nice. That's huge. Bring it up to 0 just when you're bouncing stuff out. Control B, bounce it out. Probably should have renamed it, but I didn't. Oh well. Double click on it. File, functions, reverse, reverse. Cut out the kick itself. Slice it here. Get rid of this and fade it in. Let's have a listen to that on its own. Cool. It's nearly like an inhale. It's nearly like a breath. Let's listen to all of them together. Cool. You've got to be careful with that kick. Reverse. Make sure the low end is gone. Way tidier. Cool, we're already getting there. This one's a little personal favorite of mine. I usually get samples for it, but on this occasion, let me show you just so you could do it yourself. A breath on the downbeat is an interesting explosion of sound, especially if you put reverb on it, and you can put some extra down hits as well. Let's record in just a breath. It's going to be a little bit strange. As you notice, I'm not doing it at the right time. So here's our breath here. It's going to be super strange. So now I've EQ'd this low end out and I'm going to do another explosion. Let's try Space Designer. I really want to get used to this one. Low cut, low spread, 0. Here we go. Yeah. So. Cool. Needs way more reverb. But I think you get the idea. And then compare it to the little plate. Sadly, I'm not sponsored by Sad Toys. Just all their plugins are so good. Cool, it's just an explosion of atmosphere, right? And then if you want to make it extra crazy, you can make it stereo, make it all around your head. And another little one I like to throw on it is just this kickstart. This is a 10-year-old plugin from Nicky Romero. Throw a little bit of reverb and sidechain on it. So here's our sidechain. Got to throw that sidechain on it. Kickstart, lovely. Let's see how it sounds. Now you got to be careful because it takes away the downbeat as well. It's one of those things where you could automate it to not hit the downbeat because you are losing the downbeat with it, which is not very desired. So we've got our breath, we've got our reverse kick, got our crash, crash reverse, and a white noise. Let's listen to them on their own. Nice. You can definitely tell it's already getting better. Now the thing that's really missing is a strong downbeat. So maybe trying to get this kick. So we're going to use this kick. Kick explosion. Take away some low end once again from 500 or so. Could even go higher. And we're going to just explode that out. And let's see how it sounds. You can put some reverb on the bus as well. If you want to go crazy. We've a reverb on the track. 16 seconds. Mix full. Maybe a little bit less just to hear something. Let's hear it on its own. Cool. We could probably EQ a bit less. Sounds like a big snap, doesn't it? Like a rim shot nearly. Cool. And then the more we bring the low cut down, the more we hear the low frequencies. Nice. And there's your big explosion on the downbeat. Then those together. Nice. Yeah, it definitely needs a bigger downbeat. Maybe we put a little bit of extra crunch on this kick explosion, this kick impact. We can also try distortion, overdrive to give a little bit boost. We can also low cut a little bit more. Great. Okay, sounds so much better already. So we have those sounds, right? The next few things we can do is we can put these sounds on different beats. So we can see here I have a 16 beat, 8 bars, and then 8 bars, right? So we control them on every 4. What I like to do is how we usually structure our beats. We have 8 bars is the full group, is the one section, and then 16 is it's a double section. So what we're going to do is halfway through each section we're going to have a small impact, and then after every 8 bars we're going to have a stronger impact. So let's do that. So what we can do is we can put all of them in. We can put all of them in every 8 bars, and then every 4 bars we can have some of them in. Let's listen to that. Let's see if that works. Sounds a bit silly on its own, doesn't it? We definitely need more impacts, and that's where our favorite Cymatics bundle comes in. I'll link it down below. It's a trap one. It's free. So good. There's also a Major Lazer one that's free. So this is the one we have. You can see there it says Cymatics Trap Impact. Sweet. So we can put that on the downbeat of every 8. And I also have a smaller one, right? So I have the same sample and I have 2 versions of them. The sample's the same, but how I process them is slightly different. What we've basically done with the small one is turn it down a little bit, and I've taken out some high end, so slightly less present. I actually want to put the kick back in. So let's give this one a little bit more volume, and then we can probably give it a little bit more highs and lows as well. It's just getting lost. Cool. We definitely need an impact at the very end as well. That's very important. Need an impact to finish. Explode out. Much better. Sweet. Nice. So these are all the impacts and risers. That high frequency one is the cymatics impact. Nice. We have some impacts and risers. These are all free things. Okay, so let's listen to the track with these impacts and risers that we just made here. Let's have a listen. Sweet. And there it just goes to show the importance of impacts and risers. Nice. Pretty game changing. Okay, hopefully you learned something from that. Definitely mess around with a few of those ideas and see what you come up with. Let me know down in the comments if there's any more tutorials you'd like to see, or if you have any more questions about impacts and risers. Let me know. All right, best of luck with the music making. Cheers. Please do stay hydrated.